All right, let's jump right in. The scientific evidence is just overwhelming on this. Our daily habits, our lifestyle, it might just be the single most important factor for our health. And today, we're going to look at a framework that's designed to harness that exact power. So, let me ask you this. Do you ever feel like you know exactly what you're supposed to do to be healthy? Eat better, exercise more, but when it comes down to it, at the end of a long day, actually doing it feels impossible? If that's you, trust me, you are so not alone. It's maybe the biggest frustration in all of health and wellness. But here's the good news. It is not a personal failing. This isn't about willpower. Turns out there's a deeper biological reason it's so incredibly hard to close that gap between what we want to do and what we actually end up doing. And we are about to pull back the curtain on exactly what that is. Okay, first things first, we have to kind of shift our perspective here. This is not just about a number on a scale, not at all. This is about building a rock-solid foundation for a long, healthy life. So to make this really hit home, let's picture someone. Let's say a 40-year-old woman. She's got a busy job, a family, the whole deal. And she has a family history of diabetes. So she's not just thinking about her weight today, she's thinking about preventing serious chronic disease down the road. Her situation is the perfect setup for this powerful approach we're talking about. It's called lifestyle medicine. And get this, it's an actual medical specialty. It uses evidence-based lifestyle changes, like nutrition and exercise, as the frontline treatment to manage, prevent, and sometimes even reverse these chronic diseases. So, what does this actually look like in the real world? Well, lifestyle medicine is built on a really simple but incredibly powerful framework, the 6 core pillars of health. These are the big 6, the fundamentals. It starts with a diet that's centered on whole foods, mostly plants. It includes getting regular physical activity, deep restorative sleep, finding ways to manage stress, building positive social connections, and of course, avoiding risky stuff like tobacco. You put them all together, and that's your blueprint for health. Now, that all sounds great on paper, right? But what does the science actually say? Let's zoom in on the biggest one, the one that gets talked about the most, nutrition. So in the research, 2 of the heavy hitters are plant-based diets and Mediterranean diets. They both really emphasize plants, for sure. But the key difference is that a strictly plant-based or vegan diet cuts out all animal products, while a Mediterranean-style diet often includes things like fish, a little bit of poultry, and healthy fats like olive oil. Okay, now check out this data from the Adventist Health Study. It's fascinating. Over on the left, you see the vegan diet, which has the lowest relative BMI in the study. Now watch what happens as we go down the list. You add dairy and eggs to get to vegetarian. BMI goes up. You add fish for pesco-vegetarian, goes up again. You add some meat for semi-vegetarian, and then all meat for omnivore, and the trend is just crystal clear. More animal foods corresponded with a higher average BMI. And if you want a hard number, one randomized trial put these 2 diets head-to-head. The participants who were overweight and put on a low-fat vegan diet lost on average a jaw-dropping 13 pounds more than the group on the Mediterranean diet. Okay, so the evidence is pretty compelling. The pillars give us a clear map. But this brings us right back to that original problem. If we have the map, why is it still so dang hard to follow it? This is what researchers call the intention-behavior gap. I mean, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? We know what to do, we genuinely want to do it, but something just gets in the way. Well, it turns out, science is finally giving us a concrete answer, and it's probably not what you think. The latest psychosocial research points to a really specific culprit. This quote just nails it. A failure to properly self-regulate? Well, it might just be due to insufficient energy. And they mean that in a very literal, very biological sense. And this one insight opens up a whole new way of thinking about our ability to make healthy choices. It all comes down to 2 states we all experience, being energized and being fatigued. You see, researchers now understand that energy and fatigue aren't just vague physical sensations. No, they're two distinct, measurable moods. And these moods are incredibly powerful predictors of whether or not we can actually follow through on our good intentions.
And here is the really wild part. Energy and fatigue are not two sides of the same coin. It's not a spectrum where more energy means less fatigue. Nope, they are two separate biological systems. This means you can be high in energy and high in fatigue at the exact same time. Ever had that wired but tired feeling? That's what's going on. Or you could be low in both. This changes everything. So let's look at what the science says predicts a state of high fatigue. No surprises here: poor sleep, a heavy mental workload during the day, high stress levels, feelings of confusion or depression. These are the things that just drain your battery. Now let's flip it and look at the predictors of high energy. Again, good sleep, high physical activity, and a diet rich in things called polyphenols, which, by the way, are packed into plants, and effective stress management. Now, the study also found a correlation with being male, which might point to some hormonal differences, but the big takeaway here is that almost every single other predictor is a lifestyle choice that is completely within our control. And this brings us to the perfect analogy. Think of it like this: the 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine, that's a perfect map to get you to better health. But trying to follow that map when you're in a state of high fatigue, that's like trying to drive a car with an empty gas tank. You're not going to get very far. The problem isn't the map, the problem is you're out of fuel. So, armed with this new understanding, we can throw out the old playbook and create a much smarter one that actually works with our biology instead of fighting against it. And this brings us full circle. We're gonna look at those exact same 6 pillars one more time, but we're gonna look at them through a brand new lens. They're not just a to-do list of things you should do. They are practical tools you can use right now to manage your energy and fatigue. Think about it. Your diet doesn't just affect your weight, it fuels your energy. Physical activity isn't a punishment, it builds your capacity for more energy. Sleep isn't a luxury, it restores your energy. Managing stress isn't just about being calm, it's about plugging a massive energy drain. Positive social connections support your energy. And avoiding risky substances stops them from actively sapping your energy. And this leaves us with a final, really powerful thought. Maybe, just maybe, we've been asking the wrong question all along. Instead of starting with, what's the perfect diet, or what workout should I do? What if the most powerful first question is simply this: how can I build my energy first? Because once you have fuel in the tank, following that map to better health doesn't just feel possible, it starts to feel natural.